I'd like to thank you all for showing up. This is something that I've been working on well over 3 years. I've been a vendor for conventions for over 21 years. And at some point, I'm RJ or Hey You or the guy in charge.
Hello, RJ. Hi, Hey You.
Yes.
I saw her when I was...
You do not want to hear me say. All right. Like I said, my name is RJ Van Wagner. This is Deb. And at registration, we have my awesome, beautiful wife, Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Karen. And she is doing an amazing job. We have a lot of staff working around with us. We have a lot of great volunteers working with us weekend. Again, I've been a vendor for 21 years. I started off selling magic cards. I learned a great craft of making customized vampire things, and it's basically taken over my life over the past 20 years. I travel all over, from Florida to Chicago, mostly the Northeast, and after years and years and hundreds of conventions and looking at them and going, God, could they not get that fixed last year? I've had enough people say, whatever, shut up. And here we are.
We will all be putting up and shutting up this weekend.
Yes, I have been working on this for over 3 years, from trying to find the right hotel, which is probably become a little bit easier. In fact, all the other convention hotels in the area are gone. So this is the best place that you can have. It's also the only place you can have in Western Mass, unless you want to go to the Massachusetts. The hotel has bent over backwards to help us out. Every step of the way, they've been my partner, as much as anybody else has. When you have to go by the lobby, the people behind that have been working their tail off, and the people in the back office have been working their tail off for this for months and months and months, as well as all the rest of us. Our head of security is Kelsey. Just wait. If you don't say anything, just wait.
Hi, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
She's petite and tiny, but don't piss her off.
That's an understatement.
Yeah.
Real quick note on security. We have a little model here to demonstrate what our security shirts look like. So if you guys need something to do with security, look for one of these shirts.
All right. We're better than that.
And RJ, will you stand up? Oh no, you're not wearing a staff shirt. Who's wearing a staff shirt?
I'm not wearing a staff shirt, but
mine is covered. Mine is covered. Can Karen walk over here?
Can
you just
no?
Okay.
Anyways, our staff shirts say staff. Actually, show up the staff shirt. It says staff on the back, and it's a black shirt with the same picture as the red shirts. Those are the ones, if you have an issue, you come and speak to. Our black shirts that say Brute Squad on them are the
Your
ones
red
that are for
shirts.
sale.
Oh, the black ones.
Stop confusing me.
No.
The black shirts that say Brute Squad are the ones that are for sale. $10 at our registration booth. Buy yours early. We only have a limited supply.
And bracelets.
We have great glow-in-the-dark, In-CON-Ceivable 2014 bracelets. They're only $1, and they really do glow in the dark. It really annoys my wife when she wakes up in the middle of the night, and this thing is glowing at her. And a quick funny story. I took them to a show I did last week, and it was an outside show. And about 12:30 at night, I had to go get something out of our booth. Everything's closed up, all the power's down, and my booth is glowing. I was assuming that it was either nuclear waste or aliens. I wasn't sure which one I was hoping for, because I've always wanted a third arm. Anal probes sounded entertaining the first time. But it turned out that it was this big bucket of these glow-in-the-dark bracelets, and they literally lit up a 10 by 10 booth.
You keep that third arm over there.
But anyways, they work. They work really, really well. And they're on sale at registration booth as well for $1. And all that money is going to help make this happen again next year. That's the goal. We have a couple other things that we're selling and doing. We are doing an auction that will be set up for tomorrow. We may have set it later tonight, but we'll definitely have it for tomorrow. And there'll be items from our guests, from our dealers, from personal stock and things like that.
Why are we having an auction?
Well, I'm just getting to that. Stop.
This is my job.
One of my friends and fellow travelers, C.J. Henderson, passed away at the beginning of July from cancer. He was one of the very first people that agreed to be part of the show. He was willing to give me the chance as a vendor and a guest to come and sell his wares. He works with the H.P. Lovecraft Society in Rhode Island, and he's an amazing author. You can still buy his books online for as long as they're going to be online for, and he is well worth the read. What we are doing for the auction will be 50% of everything raised at the auction will be given to his widow to help defer costs for his medical bills, because they were extensive. He was sick for a very long time, and he was going through massive amounts of chemotherapy every day. He literally fought to the last minute. He was doing conventions up to 2 weeks before he passed away. He would go home, do 4 or 5 days of straight chemo, get out Friday, go to a convention, come home, go back and do chemo for another week. I have to take 2 days off for a hangnail. This man was amazing, is amazing. And we're going to have stuff out there, like I said, from our dealers downstairs, for my personal stock. And one of the things we're going to have that my wife made, and you can see at registration, is a CJ Cthulhu doll. And she is holding it up at the moment.
Oh,
Kelsey will be bringing it up. Kelsey will be walking that around for everybody. Anyways, the auction, like I said, is going to be to help out his family. He is a memorial part of this show, and as far as I'm concerned, for as long as the show's going on, he will be part of it. Like I said, I traveled the road for years with him. He's a great guy. We have a great dealer room downstairs, which I've seen many of you in, so you already know what's going on down there. That's going to be open until 9 o'clock tonight. Yes.
No, I think it's open till 10. No, I wrote it on there.
All right. Yeah, dealer room's open
4 to
until 10
10.
o'clock tonight. And then back in here, starting at 9.
Yes.
At some point, we are going to be having an 18 and older event. So those people who are under 18.
I have the whole schedule of it.
Go for it.
Hi. I made the schedule. If anyone has a complaint, too bad.
She's already told us that many times.
Anyway, we will have a cash bar open at 9 p.m. That wall behind you will come down and there is a cash bar. We will have an 18-plus comedy show, Beyond the Tentacle. Let your imaginations wander, because wherever you wander is probably right. An 18-plus comedy show. There will be belly dancing at some point. I think belly dancing actually comes first. And there's also going to be a burlesque show. So we're going to have stuff going on in here all night until about 1 a.m. when they close the bar. We will have a whole bunch of late night events going on tomorrow. There's tournaments. The Magic the Gathering tournament is out in the tent all day tomorrow. We have a costume contest. We will have comedy shows. And we will have a blacklight dance.
That's also going to be out in the tent. So, you know, the weather is going to be beautiful tomorrow night.
There's going to be a cash bar again.
That'll be it.
I'll be here all weekend.
And late night movie screenings, all sorts of good stuff. We have some really exciting guests. We have a couple Star Trek cast members coming.
No, they're here.
Are they here already?
They're here.
They're here. Well, they were here and then they went away.
And then they came back.
They came back.
Kind of like Star Trek.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of awesome activities going on. Schedules will be posted as the days progress. So today I have this Friday schedule available at registration. We will be hanging copies of the schedules around all over the hotel. So if you don't have one in hand, it's okay. They'll be there. They'll be on the walls. They'll be accessible. If anyone has any questions about scheduling, you can look for me.
Blame her. I mean, find her.
Yeah. Don't think there's a difference at this point.
It's really too late, so maybe you can leave it changed next year.
What else do we have going on Sunday? There's going to be a tea party on Sunday? Yes. No, it didn't. The concert after. Jeez.
For screamers.
Derailing me.
I don't think they allow it.
Really?
I didn't
Save it for the 18 stuff, huh?
I'm not allowed.
There's also going to be a concert with this awesome band called Anaria. They are down in the vendor's room. They have a table.
They're awesome.
They are awesome. We are going to be doing our closing ceremonies around their concert in the tent on Sunday. So close out the con, rock out, it'll be a good time. We have a costume contest going on. We are going to have a hall contest, so people will be getting random prizes all over the place.
We also have hall awards. Please stand up.
Already.
Dun dun dun!
We will also be having an actual costume contest in here, which will involve a variety of prizes for a variety of categories, and the big winner will get money. Yeah, cash prizes.
5 cents.
Yes!
Sign me up.
Sadly, it's still more than some places give you for the words.
We appreciate your hard work.
Here's a quarter. If you know anybody who would be interested in being in the costume contest that is not here, you're still able to register for the costume contest.
Yeah,
So,
we will be
definitely.
accepting entries till pretty
Till it starts.
Pretty much till it starts. The person running that isn't here.
She's somewhere.
She's somewhere.
She's somewhere. She's something with something. No? You got something to share with the whole class?
Oh, get in trouble.
So does anyone have any questions about our convention before we jump in? Yes.
Where are you registered for the costume contest?
Where? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, was that?
Where is the costume contest entry? Does
They will be at registration. Where you see the trophies over there, they will be up there within the next hour or so.
Oh, cool.
yes.
Well, that's time to please prove.
Any other questions?
When exactly does the cash bar actually open?
Is it open now?
There is a bar that is open right now in the lounge. You go through the registration and keep going.
Detention.
You in the corner. It's in the lounge. They have a limited menu, which you can see a copy of at the registration. They've got some really good food there.
Oh.
We have a hot dog and cheeseburger and other food vendor coming in. He should be here
That
probably
Bob?
in the next hour.
Does he have burgers?
He should have food, yes.
Is his name Bob?
No.
Just to be clear,
His name is Keith.
one of the panel submissions that I reviewed, you have to give your name, a description of your panel, an email address. The email address was his personal account. The name was Bob. All it said was food. So I'm really hoping that Bob's Burger Truck will show up. He doesn't remember sending it.
Cash bar was probably open by then.
No, I'm this way sober. When I'm drunk, it's just, I go to sleep.
Fair enough.
I'm a lousy drunk. So, we have lots of great things going on. Oh, Turtle.
Will there be a sign encouraging people to rock the cash bar?
There are no refunds for registration.
Okay, something really important, guys. There is a code of conduct guideline in the program book. There is an actual code of conduct at registration. We expect you to respect the hotel. If the hotel tells you it's a rule, we're not going to argue with them. Please, please, please respect the hotel rules and the hotel staff. They've never had a fan-based convention of any kind before. There's never been a steampunk, an anime, and anything, a sci-fi, anything kind of convention here. Especially not one that involved dressing up in any capacity, or dressing down for that matter.
But to be perfectly honest, we are in Northampton, so they probably have some idea of how well we can do with costumes. Getting out there and putting on some strange outfits.
I love Northampton.
I wear a Lolita every day.
My wife told me I had to dress like a man today.
Can we all just say aw for our birthday?
My wife is the man.
You know she can hear you.
If I'm not here tomorrow, you all know why.
Just so you know, RJ, I do have a couch at my house available if you need it, okay?
There's an exit over there.
Same, but if there are any panelists in the room who would like like to plug their panels, now is a great time to do that. Do it. Anyway.
Do it.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, Sarah.
Oh my goodness, I see people I know that I didn't even know were here. Hi guys, I'm Sarah Hodge Weatherby, one of the panelists here this weekend. Some of you might know me as Sarah, the anime librarian. Others might know me as Auntie Cosplay. So I'm going to do a lot of panels here this weekend. In fact, I got to scoot out of here in about 2 minutes because I will be doing Cloud Age Symphony, Anime and Steampunk from 6 to 7 tonight. Tomorrow I will be hosting from 11 to noon the Cosplays for Everyone panel. Yeah, so be nice to your fellow cosplayers or Auntie Cosplay will find out and find you. That includes you, especially you, Deb. I'm an Avengers fan, I know how this works. 6 to 7 tomorrow night I'll be doing Anime 101 for anyone that wants to come, but especially for some of maybe the parents that are like, what the hell is my kid into? And then tomorrow night from 9 to 10 I'm going to be doing Adult Swim the early years, talking about the history of Adult Swim. And then on Sunday from 12:30 to 1:30 I'm going to be doing a visual history of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, including the Michael Bay movie. It should be a very interesting conversation, so please join me for those. And so yeah, I'm really happy to be here. This is awesome con. I'm so glad these guys asked me to be here. This is a totally amazing group of people, and everyone's been so nice so far. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Charles, who's a way more qualified speaker than I am.
Just a real quick note. I actually found you through the Wilbraham Library. I was in there on the side, and they said, you need to have her at
I live in Wilbraham.
Wow.
They're like, you need to contact Sarah immediately. Matter of fact, here's her number, here's her personal number, here's her email. I mean, they almost gave me your address to your house. They gave me your license plate
Well,
number.
considering what you just said to your wife, you might need it for the sofa. But
This is
that's
true.
another point.
She's used to it after 20 years.
You learned that at the Wagner Library?
Well, yeah, I perform at Wilbraham a lot.
I live in Wilbraham.
Wilbraham's awesome. It's wonderful ladies.
It's a great town trying to be Long Meadow.
Except without the attitude problem.
Oh, give
No
it time.
offense to the Long Meadowans.
All right, class.
I am a Long
I
Meadow.
know nothing about Massachusetts
Our
towns.
next speaker. Ready?
I'm from New
Hi,
York.
Charles.
And
Listen up, Charles is in charge.
I don't need to talk about that. No, this was me last week at Otakon. The entire weekend. And I'm still recovering. My throat...
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Exactly. My throat just got better today in time for my hip to start. Yep, I'm gonna have some fun. I'm up here every now and then for the convention over at the college, and like I've been in this hotel before, and the moment I heard it's at the Haunted Clarion, yes! So it's gonna make a really interesting weekend.
It was haunted.
It's haunted?
There's a groovy history to be solved.
Yes, there's a great I have a nice and very full schedule this weekend. I'm doing tomorrow from 1:30 to 2:30 a panel on Kill la Kill, State Shinto, Meiji Japan. So if you want to hear me get all cerebral about Kill la Kill, come on to that one. Followed at 4:30 by a panel on My Little Pony Grimdark Fiction and Grand Guignol. So if you want me to talk about how watching Rainbow Dash get cut in half actually has artistic merits, check out that one.
Guys, I saw the video.
I sent her the cupcakes video.
Yeah.
You should be there.
That's
Except
just
if you
one
like-
part of the panel. I started this panel out as a way to prove a blowhard wrong. Now it's turning into a book chapter, but I digress. I'm also doing tomorrow, Eat Brains and Live, Zombies and the Politics of Identity. Which I'll be the first to admit I can't get this panel to work right, so I gotta keep trying until I do. Sunday I'm going to be doing at 11 a.m. a gathering of geeks, fandom and convergence theory, which is the brainiest thing I'm doing this weekend, talking about how multi-fandom conventions are awesome and you shouldn't be afraid of them. Followed at 12:30 by Sacred Symbols, Giant Robots, Symbolism and Symbolic Action in Mecha Shows. Yeah, that sounds so interesting, but no. Did you see Pacific Rim? I'll talk about 2 minutes about Pacific Rim. And finally, 2 to 3, Warcraft and the Power of Narrative, which is just a fancy way of saying I'm looking at mythological tropes in the world of Warcraft, where I spent way too much of my free time for my entire tenure of grad school. So, that's going to be my Sunday, and hopefully my Saturday doesn't blow it out, because if it ends up like Otakon, I'm going to be like, there's the coffee, inject it into my veins, scream, 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 pass out.
Cocaine helps too, I've heard.
No.
It's just my idea.
No, I don't do that, but I do get very animated when I speak, which is always a plus. So, you guys want to have some fun, just come and find me. Also, I like talking to people.
Yay!
In case you haven't noticed, I talk a lot.
All right, guys. So I know we just did this.
Just want to clarify.
Did you want to come up? Yes. Yes. So we're gonna do it again. Ready? Ready? Hi, Charles.
Hi, Charles. I do not have a stage voice, so I will use this. I'm still working on the stage voice. Give me another day or two. All right, I am the other Charles, but you can also call me CJ or that weird guy who's running around everywhere trying to do everything.
Can we just give this guy a huge round of applause because he has done so much for this Kickstarter, vending, and panelist. This man is doing everything, and he brought in press people for us. So, thank you.
Yeah, our press guy is going to be on the bus at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'm just covering for him today.
Wow.
Or he's stuck out in Brooklyn. It's going to take him.
Woo!
Should we get in the bus?
Yeah.
No, he's just going to hang on and then take photos all along the way.
Our press guy is Spider-Man.
Yes! Well, at least he gets to sleep on the way, because you just can't sleep on your way to Brooklyn.
True.
No sleep.
Yeah.
No. Wait for the bar.
Let's see.
9 p.m.
For today, I think here in like half an hour or so, there
In there.
is the writer's exchange
Yes.
for like half an hour, where it seems like it's going to be a free-for-all. If you are a writer and you want to come and talk shop, we shall be there for half an hour. Tomorrow, 3:30, I believe, downstairs in that little panel room, I'm going to be talking about courting your muse and warping the fabric of reality itself so you can find time to write.
I like where he's going with this.
And then my partner in crime at 10:30, in the same panel room, is going to be talking about literotica, the 6 do's and 9 don'ts of adult romance writing. It's definitely worth
Read
at
the
least stopping
description,
by.
blush, and then go.
Yes. And then Sunday, we're going to wrap things up in the big room.
Yeah.
I want to say at 2:30 or so. 2 or 2:30, somewhere around that time.
Yes.
It'll be on the schedule. We're going to be in here talking about plot pacing. So if you've already written a story, or if you want to figure out how long should this thing be, or how do I deal with a fight scene, then stop on by for an hour and we will cover everything we can before they kick us out.
Thank you. I have received instructions to toot that. So we kind of got a little bit of a last minute, very lucky last minute opportunity to screen a short film, Star Trek: The Battle of the Naxar. So I learned a little bit about this from Kickstarter. Basically what it is a bunch of cast members of Star Trek got together and independently made a short film that tells the story of a very, very pivotal moment in Federation history for all you Star Trek geeks. Yeah, goes way back. This predates Captain Kirk, story timeline-wise. Old story. So we actually are lucky enough to be able to screen it here for you guys tomorrow. So there's going to be a Star Trek panel, I want to say 5:30 to 6:30, and then after that we are actually going to be screening this short film with J.G. Hertzler, who is one of the cast members of Deep Space Nine and an Axar, and he worked really hard to secure that for us. So that's kind of a really big deal, kind of really.
Yeah.
Really, yeah. Because it's kind of new, and I think they're actually going to be releasing it, like major release in a year or so. So that's kind of an exclusive thing that you guys can come and check out with J.G. Hertzler of Star Trek tomorrow.
And although they're not here, Tony Todd is in that, and Richard Hatch are also some of the more high-end names that are in that movie as well. They're not here this weekend, just J.G.
You'll be able to have a Q&A session with him too about his work in this film. So if you want to badger a Star Trek cast member with questions, you will have an opportunity. Be back here tomorrow.
Actually, if you want to just, give all the little nuances of why didn't this work, or if this is doing it on here, why is it doing it on there? He loves that.
So Star Trek stuff tomorrow. Very exciting. No, I think I'm good.
Just a little bit of a reminder, the red shirts that say Root Squad on the back are the people you need to go to if anything is wrong, or if you have any questions or have any concerns. If you see somebody with a staff shirt and a black one like she's wearing, that also is good. Anybody who has a black shirt with a Brute Squad, they don't know, they don't have any answers for it. But always registration desk is there, always I will be walking around, and there'll be several of us all walking around all weekend long, so anytime you have a question or concern or comment, by all means stop us. If you think there's something that we could do better, please.
Oh, that's a thing for now. We will have a feedback panel at the end of the weekend. I think it's going to be downstairs in the Hampshire room. So there will be a feedback panel. So if you guys are thinking of things that you want us to add, include, expand upon, we are here for you. We want everyone here to have a good time, and we are interested in your feedback. So if you notice something during the weekend, feel free to write it on a piece of paper, and I will make sure there's a receptacle at registration for you guys to drop off notes for feedback, and we will have a feedback panel at the end of the weekend, and we hope to see you all there.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for making his dream come true.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the show. Go down and spend all your money in the bedroom. All right. I'd like to thank you all for showing up. This is something that I've been working on well over 3 years. I've been a vendor for conventions for over 21 years. And at some point... Oh, I'm RJ, or Hey You, or the guy in charge.
Hello, RJ.
Hi,
Hey You.
Yes.
I saw her when I was...
You do not want to hear me sing. All right. Like I said, my name is RJ Van Wagner. This is Deb. And at registration, we have my awesome, beautiful wife, Karen.
Hi,
Karen! And she is doing an amazing job. We have a lot of staff working around with us. We have a lot of great volunteers working with us weekend. Again, I've been a vendor for 21 years. I started off selling magic cards. I learned a great craft of making customized vampire fangs, and it's basically taken over my life over the past 20 years. I travel all over, from Florida to Chicago, mostly the Northeast, and after years and years and hundreds of conventions and looking at them and going, God, could they not get that fixed last year? I've had enough people say, whatever, shut up. And here we are.
We will all be putting up and shutting up this weekend.
Yes, I have been working on this for over 3 years, from trying to find the right hotel, which is probably become a little bit easier. In fact, all the other convention hotels in the area are gone. So this is the best place that you can have. It's also the only place you can have in Western Mass, unless you want to go to the Mass Mutual Center. The hotel has bent over backwards to help us out. Every step of the way, they've been my partner, as much as anybody else has. When you have to go by the lobby, the people behind that have been working their tail off, and the people in the back office have been working their tail off for this for months.
You keep that third arm over there.
But anyways, they work. They work really, really well. And they're on sale registration booth as well for $1. And all that money is going to help make this happen again next year. That's the goal. We have a couple other things that we're selling and doing. We are doing an auction that will be set up for tomorrow. We may have set it later tonight, but we'll definitely have it for tomorrow. And there'll be items from our guests, from our dealers, from personal stock and things like that.
Why are we having an auction?
Well, I'm just getting to that. Stop.
This is my job.
One of my friends and fellow traveler, C.J. Henderson, passed away at the beginning of July from cancer. He was one of the very first people that agreed to be part of the show. He was willing to give me the chance as a vendor and a guest to come and sell his wares. He works with the H.P. Lovecraft Society in Rhode Island, and he's an amazing author. You can still buy his books online.
Oh, the black ones.
Stop confusing me.
No.
The black shirts that say Brute Squad are the ones that are for sale. $10 at our registration booth. Buy yours early. We only have a limited supply.
And bracelets.
And bracelets. We have great glow-in-the-dark, In-CON-Ceivable 2014 bracelets. They're only $1, and they really do glow in the dark. It really annoys my wife when she wakes up in the middle of the night, and this thing is glowing at her. And a quick funny story. I took them to a show I did last week, and it was an outside show. And about 12:30 at night, I had to go get something out of our booth. Everything's closed up, all the power's down, and my booth is glowing. I was assuming that it was either nuclear waste or aliens. I wasn't sure which one I was hoping for, because I've always wanted a third arm. But probes sounded entertaining the first time. But it turned out that it was this big bucket of these glow-in-the-dark bracelets, and they literally lit up like a 10 by 10 booth. Months and months, as well as all the rest of us. Our head of security is Kelsey. Just wave. You don't have to say anything, just wave.
Hi, Kelsey.
She's petite and tiny, but don't piss her off.
That's an understatement. Real quick note on security. We have a little model here to demonstrate what our security shirts look like. So if you guys need something to do with security, look for one of these shirts.
All right. We're better than that.
No,
And RJ, will you stand up? Oh, no, you're not wearing a staff shirt. Who's wearing a staff shirt?
I am not wearing a staff shirt, but...
Mine is covered. Can Karen walk over here? Can you just...
Karen's
No?
busy.
Okay.
Anyways, our staff shirts say staff.
I show it back.
It says staff on the back, and it's a black shirt with the same picture as the red shirts. Those are the ones, if you have an issue, you come speak to. Our black shirts that say Brute Squad on them are the
Your
ones
red
that are for
shirts.
sale.